Hello everyone, and today I would love to talk about water element according to Chinese medicine. And I'm very often teaching the different teacher trainings, uh, or I'm very often give this lecture about Chinese medicine, and I'm always starting with element of water. Why is we stuck? Is this so important in our life? Because the water element is the base of our life. The water element is the most important element in our bioenergetical system, because if the water element doesn't work appropriate, we have a lot of very serious illnesses. And according to Chinese medicine, we are saying if the kidney or it is the water element are not okay, the person will never recover from the serious illness. And we will go to the screen, basis screen, and my slides. And again, for the people who don't know me, I am holistic doctor. I'm Dr. Liana. I'm living in Bali. My basic education is reconstructive surgery. I also Chinese medicine. I'm also Ayurvedic doctor, integrative nutrition, meditation, yoga, psychosomatic therapy, aromatherapy, aroma psychology, integrative dietology, and everything gives all of this modality gives me possibility to work holistic around all problems of the human being. And we are often try to divide our problems. We see, okay, if I have money problem, I need to think about the business consulting. If I don't have good relationship, I go to relationship therapist. If I have some illness, I will go to the doctor. But actually it is not true, because the real cause of the problem is always on the energetical level. And here we can see the person. It is how we really exist, how we look like. We are such beautiful bioenergetical system, and this system has chakras, auras, meridians. We all have vibrancy. And in this time we hear a lot of different theories about the COVID, but we have a lot of theories about the changing of the frequency of the earth. And here exactly we can see the person is sitting on the net of the earth, because the earth is look like us. It is also energetical planet. It's not just the physical planet, and it's energetical planet. And we're talking about the frequency of Schumann, and we know that frequency of Schumann start rise now to weekly, and it is why we have all problems now in the world, because the health and human body cannot go so fast, and we cannot take all changes so fast. Some people can, some people can't. And the people who are having low frequency, of course, they have the most biggest problem. And if we see this system, we will also understand that the human being is very, very complicated. And this is the next slide. This is the 5 element of Chinese medicine. Next time I will explain you all about this structure, but now I will just want to talk about water. What are the elements? I already explained it. The element is the component of different parts of the universe and the earth. And if you talk about water element, we will talk about physical kidney and physical bladder and all urinary system. Also adrenals will be here, the vertebra, especially the spine, especially with the low spine, the knees, the ears, the brain. It's all organs, physical organs, that will correlate with water element. And each element has also their own sense organ, and sense organ of ear will be hearing, our ears, and we hear with our earrings. And the tissues of the element will be the bones, teeth, and of course spine coming here, and joints. And the last what we have here is the emotions, and emotions will be the fear, willpower or no willpower, believing in yourself, of low self-esteem. It depends where are you staying now. And we can talk about water element hours and hours and hours. I will tell you some summary, and I will give you some explanation of some illnesses and how we can combine everything. And the next time I will talk about water element and the first chakra, how they are working together, because people always asking what is the chakra, what is the element, how they working together. And the water element, kidney or adrenals, will be very, very similar with the first chakra. Okay, let's go. If you talk about water element, we talk about the life's energy. It's called Jin. Jin is the amount of energy that we receive in our life. It is the energy of our life in this manifestation, in this incarnation. If the Jin goes down, we become very quickly ill, we aging, and if it's Jin finished, we go die. This is why it's so important to understand that water is most important element, because the Jin is our life energy, is here, and if your water is in balance, you have a problem. You have really life problems. You have a very serious chronic illness. The next, what I would love to say, the water element is the base of yin and yang, masculine and feminine energy. It is very, very important. And the water element is also very important for all our function of the brain, because the memory are depend from the development and balance of the water element. Because if our water element in deficiency, if it's we don't have strong water element, our memory start become less and less. We cannot concentrate, we cannot study, we cannot understand what happened. You see how I explain about aging. I already say memory is not good, your energy is not good, but it's also the other problem here. It is the chronic fatigue syndrome of adrenal fatigue. It is exactly the same. The aging is normal process, but the young generation has now a lot of problems with chronic fatigue, and people of 40 years old, or sometimes is more younger, just having adrenal fatigue. And a lot of people coming to me, corporate workers who are working very hard, a lot of time, a lot of hours, very stressful, and all people saying, oh my god, it's like my computer shut down. I cannot understand anything, I cannot talk, I cannot calculate. I really I'm very smart, but now I cannot do 2 plus 2. I really cannot understand it, of course, because your water element goes down and it's not fit your brain. The next very interesting correlation of water is the blood. A thousand years ago, Chinese doctors give such very interesting understanding that the water element is the base of the bone marrow. The water element are developing bone marrow, and the bone marrow will make a blood. And the second very important thing, the water element is also feed the brain. And here you see two very interesting things, blood and brain. And if you don't have blood in our body, what happened? Of course, if we don't have red blood cells, we are not vital, because the blood is very important for memories, for concentrations. but blood is also very important for our life. And kidney or water element, according to Chinese medicine, are making blood. And this is why with adrenal fatigue, people are so tired. They don't have energy and they don't have blood, anemia. And the blood will not feed the brain. And the brain, of course, doesn't understand anything, doesn't function properly. Next interesting thing is correlation of water in the immune system, because it is the if you go and see our adrenals, it is of course stress, our cortisol, our adrenaline, our immune system. It's all in water element. Now I hope you understand how important it is. Uh, if our water element diminished, we have low immune system. We have a lot of cortisol. We have a lot of adrenaline. We are working on the fire. It's like a fight and flight reaction, a reaction of first chakra actually. And it is stress reaction, and the body start become tired. But the body works, and then the body become depleted. Because it's like a car, it's like a motor of the car. If the motor works, what happens with car? Car become old and car become not functioning. This is what happened with our bodies. The next interesting things that we talk about in water element is the low back pain. All spine is the correlates with the water element, but especially low back pain. People are having a lot of different kind of operations. It can be disc bulging of herniation. People have problem with the nerves that coming out of the L5, L4, L0, S1. It's all area of the water element. But all problem with spine, especially with low spine, are coming because the water element insufficient, because the water element works not properly. And about this we will talk when we will talk about first chakra, because it's also very, very interesting relation. First chakra, low back and kidney. Next interesting thing is the knee. The knee is also the symptom of the low working water element. And the biggest problem of the water element is fear. And I really like Bruce Lipton. And in the beginning of the COVID, Bruce wrote that all humanity now has a lot of fears about economical situation, about money, about the COVID, about the illness. And with all this fear, we just depleted our adrenals, we just depleted our immune. You see, all different doctors, all different specialty, we are all talking about the same. If your water element, if you deplete your adrenals, your immune system will be not okay. And fear, one of the base emotion of our humanity. We are always afraid of something. I am not good enough. I have low self-esteem. I will not have money. I am not beautiful enough. I need to have much better car. I need to have this. I need to have that because I not belong the group. And how I will live if it's everything finished, if I will not have security. And you see, we just start working, and we're working too much. And very important to be healthy. It needs to be balanced between masculine and feminine energy, or working and resting, or sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. But the sympathetic nervous system is also always firing. All organs start to work extremely fast because it's the fight and flight reaction, the stress reaction. If we're not resting enough, and this is what happened with us, if we're not activating parasympathetic nervous system that slow down organs, slow down stress, give us possibility to rest, coming in good condition, then we never be healthy because the organs working like overworking motor, and then we are dying. And also the same with the brain. We know about alpha wave, beta wave, all kind of waves in the brain where the waves need to be slower and slower and slower. And it's also depend of the water element, because the most important problem in the water element is depression. If you don't have enough water, if you don't have enough energy, and you will always want to work, you become more stressed, and then you will activate wood and fire elements. And then you become in chronic stress, and then you become depressed. And then you go to the doctor, and doctor give you pills. But it doesn't work, because if you need to work with depression, you need to work with water element. The same problem in the high blood pressure, the same problem in the problem with the heart, because the water needs to hold fire. If you don't have enough water, the, the fire starts flaring up, and we have migraines, we have problem with TVR, or ischemic problem in the brain, or the fault in the vessel in the brain when you are paralyzed. It's called CVR. It's an attack in your brain. It is the problem. If you don't have water, we don't have energy, we don't have blood, we're working very active, and we just burn ourselves. And the biggest problem is, first, overworking, second, alcohol, recreation, drugs, and a lot of sex. And this is what normally people doing when they are young, and especially you are working, you are studying, you are partying, you are drinking, you are smoke marijuana or just smoking. And very often now people have a problem with adrenal fatigue, and the other problem is man has problem with the sperm is not qualitative, or the man have problem with libido, because libido is exactly here, and the women cannot have a babies. This is the biggest problem now. If we see, and if we hear, if we read the all reports of the all gynecologists from the world, we see that infertility now is very big problem, because a lot of people cannot have babies. But you cannot have baby because your water element is not okay, and you are doing IVF, and you do everything again and again. It costs you a lot of money, but everybody talk about it. If you do IVF, it maybe succeed from number 5 or number 6. When you do 5, 6 IVF, it costs you a lot of money, and if nothing happened, the egg, it don't want attached to the womb, or it's attached to the womb and not developed. It's a lot of difficulties with the become a pregnant girl. But the most important, if you would love to have good strong babies, you need to go and care about your water element. And the next problem, and America has now a very big problem with it, it's AD of ADD. It's the kids are had all concentration problems. ADD and ADHD, autism, it's all also in water element. And all kind of nervous illnesses, it's all water. This is what I was talking about today, about the most important thing, caring about water element. Because if you have any kind of chronic illness, it's because your water is not okay. If you have depression, if you have high blood pressure, you have adrenal fatigue, if you don't have enough money, if you have a lot of fears, if you have low self-esteem, if you have all kind of illnesses with your spine, with your teeth, parodontosis, your knees that are painful, I can you hear not okay, your hair fall out, or you are very quickly gray. It's all there are all simple symptoms insufficient working water element. And the most important thing, there are symptoms that people have now very early 30s, 40s. They all have burnout, of chronic fatigue syndrome, of depression, of alopecia, of all kinds of difficulties. And so many people are not recovering. They just stay in this problem. And this is why I tell you, please work and rest. Too much alcohol, not too much stress. I understand you are young, you want to have a lot of party and it's nightlife in all kinds of this, but you will pay for it. A little bit later, maybe after 5 years, you'll see how you become more and more ill. You will have some small problems and you will go to the doctor and doctor will not find anything, but it become bigger and bigger and bigger. It become like a snowball, and nobody understands what happened. But the most problem is water element, and autoimmune illnesses are always there in insufficient water element. The illnesses like a Hashimoto, the illnesses as like all different problems in the gut, all here. And maybe it's time to think about your lifestyle, your food, your rest, your working. It's time to become aware and to become feel more healthy. Because it's this moment in our life, we see how many people died from the COVID, but it is normal because the people are not caring about their health. And maybe the universe is just worrying, stop living like this. Care about yourself, care about your house, care about Mother Earth. Stop consuming. You consume life, consume your thing. You just go die. Care about yourself. Thank you so much. If you have a questions, you can always write in the comments. And next time we probably see the other interesting things about the water element, because the water element more fascinated, more the most important element in our body. And then I will give you different kind practicing and solution framed water element.